Yo, what's going on, Tim? Welcome back to another episode, episode 44, I believe, of the podcast. Um, I did have one that I've been trying to upload for the past 3 or 4 days that I've done with my brother, but ended up doing it twice, and the file got corrupted twice. So I have no idea what's going on with that, but hopefully we can get that recorded pretty soon. We've got some really cool insights into the industry at this weird time, and also some cool tips to be able to give you guys. It's always a pleasure being able to shoot the shit with me, bro, and just hear his insight in a little bit more depth than just on the phone or over Messenger or something like that. So, first of all, before we start, I just want to wish everyone good health and good strength. Make sure everyone's doing good, everyone's loved ones are safe and healthy, and also wish everything I can towards those healthcare workers around the world that are fighting this crazy virus at this moment in time, and just in general, really, like the forefronters, like we idolize entertainment them more than we do healthcare. Like who receives the most amount of money in the world? Well, it's sports people, it's actors, it's all these things, and I'm not taking away from their craft, of course, but in times of need, like at the end of the day, it's the people at the front, it's people in the hospitals, it's the people, whether it's on the front line, whether it's police, fire service, ambulance, all these people are on the front line, and they're the ones that are keeping us safe. So I just wish the absolute best to them, and I know you guys will be with me on that one. So episode number 44. Just going to talk about basically what I'm doing, and how my training sort of adapted and how I'm training at the moment. To be honest with you, team, like I've gone back to basics. I've gone back to how I used to train when I was about 12. Even less than that, because I did. Someone that was living in the house at the time did have like a very sort of basic bench set up in the back garden, and had up to I think there was about 100 kilos, and I could sort of use that at the time. But most of my training when I was 12 years old would be push-ups, would be dips between the bins, would be pull-ups, or negatives. At that time I couldn't actually do a pull-up at that time. I was a heavy boy, and basically everything you can do with your body. I'd lunge, I'd do leg raises, sit-ups, crunches, bloody push-ups galore, dips between the bins, go for runs, try and sprint, but I've never been a quick dude, and basically just do what I can. I get a lot of messages at the moment just asking like, what's the best rep ranges to do for this? What's the best sets and reps to do for that? And at the end of the day, team, like it's all about work. Work is work, and it doesn't really matter. It's just about doing more than you've been able to do. And I've got a pull up tally at the moment. I'm going to see how many pull ups I can do in this quarantine, and I'm close to 600. I think getting it 2,000 and above would be pretty cool. But I've got to get to 1,000 first, that's for sure. But it's just about doing work. It doesn't really matter how much you're doing. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. It just matters about you doing work. And I just go by feeling these times, to be honest with you. Like a lot of the time I don't actually count my reps. I'm just like, right, I'm going, I'm zoning out, I'm listening to the music, I'm thinking, I'm blah, 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 blah. And then when it starts burning, I'm like, right, okay, 2 or 3 more or something like that. And I especially do that for core or abs or whatever. Like I'd set the timer, but I don't actually look at it. And only when I'm shaking like a shitting dog will I glance down and be like, right, it's been 30 seconds or it's been a minute and a half or whatever. And then I'm like, right, I'm going to go to 45 seconds, or I'm going to go to a minute 45 or whatever it is. And it's just ways of making it a little bit more difficult. And I think another way you can do things is like pick a weakness that you're either pretty shit at in general or pretty shit at actually doing. And to me, That's my core. I don't actually find training core very entertaining. In fact, I find it very boring. Um, but obviously, I've got no equipment. I've got all the time in the world. So I might as well do it. Mobility is a thing that I did make a habit, but I've kind of fallen out of that habit with everything that's sort of gone over the past 6 months. Um, and I'm trying to get into a habit again, like a little bit of a 10 minute every morning, a bit of my morning movement, and I've been feeling better for it. Definitely been feeling a little bit more open and a little bit more, looked after. And then the other one is going to be core, like I said. And when I'm training normally in the gym, I come up with every excuse in the world. I'd rather do another accessory for back or shoulders or arms or chest or legs or whatever than do core, and I find it boring. Oh, excuse me, as I take a swig of my coffee. But yeah, like I said, I've got time now to be able to look after that, and I've got time now to be able to just work on it a little bit. And even if it starts off small and add a little bit in each time, then it starts off small and adds a little bit in each time. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to climb Mount Everest straight away. You can start off by just climbing a hill. Start off by walking down your street, and then over time that will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then consistency beats everything. Like I say this all the time. I can give you the best training program in the world, but if you're not consistent with it, it's going to be a pile of shit. Or I could give you a pretty shit program, and if you're consistent with it, you're going to see more results than you would do the former. So just being consistent with it, team, and doing what you can. Even if it's just doing 20 push-ups in the morning. Waking up doing 20 push-ups. That it could be broken up into 20 sets of one if you have to, but just waking up and doing 20 push-ups. And then when that feels easy, you'll do 10 sets of 2, or you'll do 4 sets of 5. And then you'll do, right, I'm going to do 30 push-ups, or I'm going to do 20 push-ups before I go to bed and in the morning. Or you go, I'm going to do 20 push-ups, or I'm going to do 10 push-ups every time I want to go take a piss. It's easy. There's little ways you can sort of add in these little things to be able to stay active and stay moving. You don't need a gym. It doesn't need to be too difficult. There's many ways of doing it. Which kind of leads on to something I've been mulling over, and I think I did say it in a previous episode that I would create a program for people that just have a barbell for home workouts. And I've been thinking about it, and I've been mulling it over, and like I pride myself on the stuff I give out because I believe in it. I've tried and tested it. I might not have done the program start to finish, but I've done the aspects within the program. I've trained for 11 years now within a gym environment, and then an athlete ever since I can remember, competing since about 7 in the pool. So I know some things when it comes to physical exercise and training and health and fitness, and I've been studying it for close to 10 years and doing all this shit, and I know some things like and do I think it's going to be worth your pennies if I put out a bodyweight program of some lunges, some push-ups, some crunches, some sit-ups, some planks or whatever. And yeah, I can make it into a little workout. I can do it a CrossFit style. I can do it as an EMOM. I can make it all these fancy and make it flary and stuff. But do I think it's going to be worthwhile for you to pay money? No, I don't. And that's why I've not created one. That's why I'm not charging it. I will write some things down and I'll post it on my Instagram. And you can follow it along and you can get it for free. But do I think it deserves me being paid for that shit? No, I don't. I don't think it's worth money. Do I think it's worth the time? Do I think I'm going to be able to provide a valuable service through Skype where I watch you work out in your house and I'll give you some feedback or shout down the mic at you or whatever? No, again, I don't. Which is, I don't know, team. This is a tough one because Many coaches, many trainers out there will be saying, I'm missing a point here. I'm missing some time for some income during this obviously difficult time and through the job that we want to do. And I agree with them. I am, but I also say, look, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to make wealth. And wealth for me is more important. That sort of, some people call it legacy, I guess, but other people just call it sort of staying true to you. That to me is more important. I'll always be truthful. I'll always give you 100% the truth. Like, you ask me a question, I'll tell you the answer, even if it's going to hurt you. That's just the way I am, and I'm not going to put flowers around it and put a ribbon on it and make it sound nice and give you a massage with a scented candle and elephant noises and break the news to you slowly. You're going to ask me a question, I'll tell you the fucking answer. And do I think it's going to be worth your money if I come up with a program? No. Do I think it's going to be a good program? Yeah, it'll kick your ass, no problem. But will I feel like there's going to be something at the back of my mind just thinking, Alex, I feel a little bit uneasy charging people for this? Then yes, it will be there, so I'm not going to charge for it. It's very, very simple, and it is literally as simple as that. Am I shitting on other coaches that are doing exactly that? No, not at all. And if they feel like they can provide a valuable service and they want to do that, or they want to try and make some money in that avenue, I'm not trying to shit on them at all. And you fucking crack on and you go for it. But do I think I can do that? And will I do that? No. And that's not going to happen. Obviously, I'm going to continue chatting shit on this thing. I'm going to continue giving out pieces of information and all these things for free. But at the end of the day, like, those things are going to have to take a little bit of a back burner when it comes to financial gain in the short term, especially in the fitness industry, in my opinion. Or at least that's something that I'm going to take from myself. Just a little something I was thinking about for the past few days. And to be honest with you, team, I don't want to rip you off. I don't want to take your money in the short term. If you don't believe me, if you don't believe I'm a good businessman or anything like that, then come see me in 10 years. But I'm not going to rip you off. I'm not in the industry for that. I'm in the industry to help you. And if I believe that I can't help you for money, then I'm not going to help you for money. Like, I would rather do my job for free. Like, quite frankly, I don't like charging people, but people have got to eat. That's absolutely fine. And there's other ways you can make money, and especially in a stressful time. And do I think, and if I think I can't sort of provide the value of whatever price tag I slap on it, even if it's a small amount, then I'm not going to put a price tag on it. I will continue giving out those home workouts, and I think I can provide a lot of value, but especially at this time, I'm not going to charge for it. I feel quite uneasy, to be quite frank. Best that sort of leads me on quite well, to be honest. Best little workouts I've done in the past week or so, being in quarantine, being in isolation, being housebound, whatever you want to call it. First one's a little core workout. This one actually got really nasty, and I didn't think it would, but it did. It was 1 minute of a hollow hold, straight into 1 minute of a flutter kick, and then you get 1 minute rest. Then you do 45 of a hollow hold, 45 of a flutter kick, 45 seconds rest, and then you do 30, and then you're done. I don't know why, but that one absolutely kicked my ass. After the first round, I was blowing out of a fucking straw, and my core felt like you'd poured lava on it and it was burning. But that was a good one. That was a real good one. A little finisher I had for the upper body, which was sort of a push-up descending ladder. So you go 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. So you basically go down from 20 down to 2 in twos. And the aim of the game is to do it unbroken, and you rest 15 seconds between sets. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to do a set, so you can basically hold the plank and then do a rep or whatever from there if you really want to. But if you break mid-set, so say for example I'm on a set of 16 and I break at 14, then I would rest a minute and I would repeat the set of 16. So the idea is you have to complete every set unbroken. That got really nasty. Once you get to 8, you've pretty much done it. But it's getting past the 16, the 14, and the 12 is pretty. Even the 10 is quite nasty, but the 18, 16, 14, 12, that gets really. Who am I kidding? It all fucking hurts. That's really good. And then just EMOMs team. EMOMs are really good. Just get a little stopwatch. The clock is quite humbling. I'm gonna try and do every day. I'll do a 10-minute EMOM of 5 strict handstand push-ups and just get 50 done in 10 minutes. And then I just hang out in the garage and I'm basically just doing pull-ups on a beam across the top. And just totting up the reps from there and seeing how many I can get done in this whole quarantine again, which I find it pretty cool. And then the best team, like if you've got space and you can sort of drive to a car park or whatever like that, and obviously if you're strong enough and to be able to do it on your own is pushing my car. It's basically a homemade sled push. I'm just shoving the car, getting it a little bit of momentum, making it to the end, and then running around the back, stopping it, and then just shoving it again the other direction, and then running around the front and stopping it and shoving it again. Really good. Develop some lactate in those legs. Like it's quite a good heart rate stuff. Not only improves your cardiovascular fitness, your lactate threshold, but also get those legs working a little bit more than just an air squat and a couple of jump lunges. Like it got pretty tasty. Oh, and final one. This one's just come to me after I said jump lunges. These were pretty fucking nasty actually. It was a 10-minute AMRAP, so as many reps as possible of 10-10 jumping lunges, so 10 on each leg, so you'll end up doing 20 total reps. Jumping lunges and then 10 burpee box jumps. So basically we've got a little patio out the back, and it sort of drops down, so I just did obviously burpee and then jump up to the patio and back down. It might be about 24, might be a little bit higher, inches might be a little bit lower, who really fucking cares, but at least you're moving around, you're working out, and it hurts. Like at the end of the day, you can make anything hurt. You can make a fucking plank hurt, countries hurt. Like do enough of them, it's going to start hurting. And I think that's the take home point for this part of the year, of life, of this sort of challenge, is don't really worry about the little things when it comes to training, like sets and reps and all that sort of shit. Just focus on doing something. Just focus on walking and focus on getting your steps in. Focus on getting your heart rate up. Focus on working on your mobility, getting enough water in. Focus on all these things. The major things of the pyramid. Like the bigger the pyramid, the stronger the bigger the base, the stronger the pyramid. And it's so true. Start focusing on that base, and I don't think we've ever had a prolonged period of time, especially as athletes, to work on the base of our pyramid. Work on our mobility, work on our core, work on, just the general health. Like we just go into the gym and fucking break ourselves and focus on that top half of the pyramid with the strength, with the power, with, maybe the skills, maybe all these things, but yet we're not healthy, or yet our mind isn't right, yet, we're not drinking enough water, yet blah, 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 all these things. Which moves on to my last point, team, is working on your mental health, like taking time to sort whatever's going on upstairs. And it's real tough, and I'm not going to lie to you, team. You're going to be second on a fucking emotional roller coaster over these next few weeks, because the only thing you've got to do is play with your balls and stare at the wall. But at the end of the day, like, it's going to be a blessing in disguise, because you actually get to work through your emotions and get to just sit on that roller coaster a bit, get taken to the highest of highs and get taken to the lowest of lows, and also just feel the middle ground. And sometimes it's not about working it out. Sometimes it's not about figuring shit out and why you feel this, why you feel that. Sometimes it's just about going through the emotion and coming out the other end and being a little bit more knowledgeable about it. And I read, I think it was a Socrates quote or something like that on the Daily Stoics, an Instagram account, which is puts quite a few really cool quotes up, and it was something like a man can never be a master if he's not a true master of himself, or something like that. And it's really poignant to me, and it's really true. Um, Obviously that encompasses women as well. Like, I'm talking about mankind, so women and men. But if we're not sort of the master of ourselves, then we can't really master anything else. And that's, mastering ourselves is definitely, in my opinion, the hardest part. But we now have the time to work through that, and work through our stuff, and try and figure our own shit out. And if you need to, reach out to people. They've got enough time to fucking come back to you. And if they don't, if you give it a few days and they've not come back to you, or you give it a week and they've not come back to you, then you know where you stand with them. They're not exactly busy. Obviously, if they're a healthcare worker, then they're fucking rushed off their feet. But it's just working through your shit, figuring some shit out, and then just being content and being okay with some other shit. And it'll be alright, team. Like, we'll get through this. We'll all be stronger for it. We'll all be more knowledgeable for it, which is the main thing. And then we'll create new habits and move on. And we'll be able to look back and fucking tell your grandkids that you survived the bloody coronavirus or whatever. Great team. Hopefully that I don't know, a little bit of an insight, little helped in any way. If you need anything, you know where I am. 80 Fit Coaching on the Facebook, or Alex Thomas Fit on Instagram, and obviously we have www.80fitcoaching.com as the website. You can actually send me an email through there as well, and it will ping into my inbox beautifully. Right, team, have a fucking cracking one. Make sure you tell your significant other they're a legend and you appreciate them, because at the end of the day, they deserve it. Send someone a message just to say hello. Keep them company in this weird time. Make sure you do your mobility. Make sure you drink your water. Make sure you work out and get a wee bit of a sweat on. And also, be happy. Peace and love, team.